say so. Like, I just remember you have that summer before, and she was doing things that I had never seen anybody do before. And as a freshman, to come in and have that kind of confidence, like, not everybody has that. Like, I was like, oh, I haven't really seen anything like this. And so we knew.
And now it's helped everything else, and other players who are great players get recognized as great players when they might not have gotten recognized before. But the thing that changed, the Nexus event, ground zero, the big bang, was Caitlin Clark.
What happens when you're besties with the most talked about name in college hoops? Kate Martin knows the answer, and she's not holding back. From Caitlin Clark's mind-blowing on-court drama to the off-the-floor hilarity, Kate's giving us the full behind-the-scenes breakdown of their unforgettable Iowa journey. Think rim-rattling dunks, inside jokes that hit harder than a crossover, and yes, even one chaotic squirrel. Sound intriguing? It should. This isn't just basketball, it's brilliance behind the curtain, served with a side of belly laughs you didn't know you were missing. Let's just say, Iowa was never
We had been together for 5 years, and I was like, we had been roommates for 4, so I really didn't want to do it without her. And then NIL, and I was like, I can leave here.
dull. Now try wrapping your mind around playing 139 games like that. That's a wild number. And luckily we had postseason runs that stretched our schedule, from deep Big Ten tournament pushes to dancing in March Madness. Those extra games added up, and honestly, I'm grateful, because let's face it, I wouldn't be where I am without a teammate like Kate. She's always had my back. I hold her accountable. She does the same for me. But what makes it work is that we're wired the same. We just get each other. She's insanely competitive. Her dad being a football coach, you can feel that legacy. It's the stuff of legend. Kate Martin wasn't just part of the team.
This was so great for Ari, and I'm so happy for her. I like, it would be great to have her as a backup point guard, but it just sounds like that's not, you know, what the front office is willing and can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough.
She was the team's pulse. She was the glue, the hype machine. On the bench, the strategist on the floor, the locker room's in-house therapist, the nurturing mom, and somehow also the one pulling pranks. She didn't just play basketball, she embodied it with the kind of jittery fire that made you want to dive for a rebound from your own couch on a random Tuesday night. I still remember, it was you who first said, "Kate Martin is a pro." You meant that. I remember driving and hearing that come out of your mouth. You said she's gonna do something big. I think you said it back when I was a sophomore or maybe a junior. And look, media people might have hedged, saying stuff like, maybe she's a fringe WNBA pick, or she's got potential, but you believed it. And if
in Iowa, and so I had heard about this Caitlin Clark, and I was like watching videos of her just like having like 40 points, like averaging a million in high school. And I was like, oh, this girl thinks she's gonna come here and rule the world, you know, like whatever. It's gonna be, you know, whatever. And there she did, came in right away and ruled the world. And
there's one thing I've learned in 4 or 5 years of you covering me. It's that when you talk basketball, you mean basketball. No bias, no fluff, just hoops. So what does it feel like seeing Kate crush it in Unrivaled and now heading into a big moment with the Valkyrie? It's surreal. She's out here living a literal WNBA dream, and it feels like a sports movie, but she's not just starring in it. She's directing, editing, probably even made the playlist. Let's be real, Kate wasn't just a leader at Iowa. She was the embodiment of team culture. While Caitlin was hitting logo bombs and bending the rules of physics, Kate kept everyone sharp, locked in, hydrated, and laser focused.
She was in the gym constantly.
Yeah.
And it was like the way she approached everything too was like, it was like with a sort of excellence. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna go through the motions and like whatever. It was like, no, like I'm here to kick your butt in every single drill, every single practice, like, and especially whenever our like gray squad guys were playing
on the mission. So yeah, Caitlin Clark kind of revealed her squad goals. Yes, pun absolutely intended. This all came out during her interview with, if I'm saying it right, David Eicholt from Swarmcast via 247 Sports. Full interviews linked below, but back to the story. Every time Iowa needed a clutch stop, a burst of energy, or a perfectly timed sarcastic quip to break the pressure, Kate showed up. Golden State, though, the Splash Kingdom, where hoops IQ is currency. It's poetic, honestly. For someone who's all grind, grit, and triple dose hustle, there's no better landing spot. She's slicing through defenses like an algorithm with a heartbeat, drilling corner threes like they personally offended her, and setting screens like she's paid per bruise. So what stood out about Caitlyn's work ethic? Oh, everything. She lived in the gym, but it wasn't just the hours, it was how she moved. Every rep, every drill, she attacked it with excellence. No coasting, no going through the motions. It was always, I'm here to dominate, especially when we scrimmaged the scout.
So it's always going to be, it was always going to be hard to judge. We'll see what happens when she gets back in the lineup, because I still believe that the Fever have the players around Clark to thrive. They are heavily reliant on Clark, but the rest of the team is better than it was a year ago.
Guys, if you lined up against her, you were the enemy. That mindset, that fire, it raised us all to her level. Sure, the Warriors have the spotlight, but Kate brings that Midwestern grind. The kind that says, I boxed out for 14 years before I ever shot a three. Her draft night, Hallmark movie worthy. She didn't even go expecting to be picked. She was just there to cheer for Caitlyn, maybe sip a Sprite and clap. Next thing. You know, she's walking across the stage in heels she probably didn't expect to stand in, shaking Kathy Engelbert's hand like, wait, me? The most heartwarming twist in WNBA history, and in Vegas, of course she flourished. Kate doesn't do background roles. Even as a rookie, she carried herself like a vet, like she'd been part of that squad since Bill Laimbeer made defense a thing, whether it was grinding in live minutes or absolutely owning the no one wants this drill in practice. She brought that Big Ten energy, no excuses, no fluff, and definitely no soft takes. Becky Hammon was all in on her within like 4 seconds. Vets love her. Why? Because she does the stuff that
Campus.
Yeah, she had come on a couple visits, and she was like a big name in Iowa. So I had heard about her. I wasn't from Iowa, so I didn't know as much. And that like all Iowa attack like AAU program is like so big, and I had no like I'd never heard of it.
Yeah, I have.
doesn't show up on highlight reels, but wins games. She knows where to be. She communicates like a PhD in huddles. She treats turnovers like lava, and people feel that. Caitlyn's been grinding too. She hasn't had a real training window yet. Straight from college into a pro schedule that's been brutal, but now she's finally getting time to sharpen her game. I've said it before, and now she has too. That's scary. For the league, and let's not forget Unrivaled, Kate's been shining. She's looked phenomenal out there, and yes, her and Caitlyn have a history. Then came that move to Golden State, and suddenly the basketball gods were like, yep, she's one of ours. Because in a system built on movement, reads, and fast decisions, Kate Martin might as well be walking AI. You blink? She's cutting back door. You sag off. She's draining a three like it's warm-ups. You bite on a fake. She's past you, dishing to the block, high-fiving a kid in row 3, and clapping on defense before you even know.
A status called broke and a status called rich. A status called poor with a financial itch. And entitled players identify with all except one. They buy wieners at the concession stand but can't afford the bun. The entitlement is real. The entitlement in the WNBA is real. Now imagine my surprise when I find out that the latest complaint from overpaid players in the
What happened? It's almost annoying how perfect it all fits. Kate's not just a player, she's a presence. Every Hawkeye fan saw it. Neutral fans, they noticed too. Even the casuals who only tuned in to watch Caitlyn drop 40 caught a glimpse of her. She was in every huddle, every celebration, every teachable moment. Slapping backs, hyping the squad, handing out encouragement. Like Halloween candy, the fans felt it. That's why people wear her jersey even when she's on the bench, because they know Kate gets it. And looking back, even now as we talk about it, it's clear. Yes, Caitlyn was the focal point. She had to score, to lead, but it wasn't a solo act. It's almost like a good cop, chaos cop situation. Kate just had to be her. And that was enough to help them win. Calm under pressure, a team-first attitude, relentless grit, and that quiet knack for laughing when the ref calls a charge that clearly wasn't one. That's Kate. Her story is what unfolds when hustle meets destiny, when heart grinds with effort, and then just a little glitter to make it unforgettable. There's something eternally satisfying about seeing someone who wasn't supposed to be here not only show up, but absolutely own the moment. Kate's rise feels intimate, like your best friend landed a promotion and then just casually became CEO too. She was that teammate who lifted the squad's energy, passed on open looks so others could build confidence, dove for loose balls and 30-point blowouts, and still played like it was her favorite day ever. That Iowa team thrived on connection, but Kate was the rhythm, the unspoken heartbeat, the behind-the-scenes legend who finally got her chorus. Even now, years later, people are still out here saying, remember when Kate did that one thing? Like it happened yesterday. And the truth is, when you love the game like she does, you don't really leave the team. You carry it with you, become it. That's why Iowa fans still ride for her like she's suiting up for the Big Ten again. That's why Cece lights up anytime Kate's name comes up. Teammate. That bond hits different. It's rare. And tonight, that bond stepping back onto the floor. This is Caitlin Clark. This is Kate Martin. They balled out together at Iowa, and now, for the first time ever, they'll meet on a WNBA court. Music, like I said, the teammate bond is already one of a kind. But put yourself in Caitlin's shoes, where fame can feel isolating, where she said she doesn't even go out much anymore. Add the constant online noise, not from players, but just the exhausting price of being a superstar woman in women's sports. That's why every former teammate has a Kate Martin story. How she pulled them back from spiraling before practice, how she cracked a joke during warm-ups that broke the tension before they blew out Indiana by 22. That kind of vibe, that kind of presence? It's rare. She's that person who's so real that even opposing fans are like, dang it, I like her. She's messing up my trash talk. Even the mascots probably love her. She probably high-fived the Lynx mascot once, and now they send each other memes. She's that effortlessly cool. Kate brings main character energy in the most unselfish way. Fully aware of her game, but always ready to pass the shine. Meanwhile, she's out-rebounding someone 5 inches taller and handing out assists like they're snacks from a vending machine. And honestly, we need more arcs like hers in sports. People who weren't supposed to go pro, but grinded too hard to be ignored. Stories of players who stayed ready, showed up, and when the door opened, they were already overqualified. Kate Martin didn't need viral mixtapes or flashy NIL deals. Though let's be real, she probably has a couple bangers. All she needed was a shot, and now that she's got it, she's making every second count. Looked great in Unrivaled. No debate there. Funny enough, Caitlin actually echoed the exact words Kate used when talking about her performance, playing free. That was Kate's phrase when describing what made her Unrivaled game so special. Whether that's because they talked or just think the same, it tracks. They get the floor, they read it the same way. They clicked at Iowa, and people are definitely curious to see what Kate could bring to the Valkyries, Caitlin included. She's even joked about recruiting her again. The love for Kate? Eternal. She's always gonna be that girl clapping in the huddle, diving for the ball, lifting up her squad, whether she's in black and gold, red and silver, or blue and gold. That Kate energy, unchanging. And if basketball has a soul, and it does, Kate Martin is a piece of it. And then came that run, the wild, adrenaline-charged, what the heck is happening sprint to Iowa's first ever national championship game. Caitlin Clark went absolute fireball mode, dropping 41 on LSU like it was personal, and then spinning around to drop another 41 on undefeated South Carolina like it was just her cardio day. The collective gasp from the hoops world, audible from orbit. She wasn't just playing, she was conducting a basketball symphony, each deep three a high note that raised eyebrows into orbit. But let's be real, none of it happened solo. You don't stack 41 and 41 in the NCAA tourney without a crew that knows your moves before you make them. Screens, cuts, defensive reads, brain sync level chemistry, and right there, Kate Martin. In her last NCAA game, she had one of her best WNBA outings to date, a 14-point burst in limited minutes. And if you caught those highlights, you could see it. She found her flow, fast breaks, beating defenders off the dribble, left-hand finishes. Fans were all over it like, that's the Kate from Iowa, she's back. She's settling into her role and it's expanding fast. That's what Kate brings. Swiss Army knife versatility with a Fitbit's worth of intensity. Calling her key doesn't cut it. She was the rhythm, the glue, the thermostat. While Caitlin was rewriting the scoring manual, Kate was holding the team's emotions in balance. Against LSU, her defensive reads looked like she had spoilers. She closed out like it was a job interview, nailed timely shots, boxed out with old school grit, and moved like a coach's dream. Then came South Carolina, a Titan matchup. Undefeated Goliath versus flamethrower David, and Kate showed up, attacking. The boards like she was clocking rebounds for cash, sticking to defenders like Velcro with a PhD, throwing passes that kept the offense flowing smoother than cold brew. People remember Caitlin's deep threes, but ask a real Iowa fan, and they'll tell you, Kate kept the train from derailing. She was the communicator. The calm down voice, the shoulder squeeze when someone panicked, the don't worry, I got this corner three assassin, and she did it all without chasing the spotlight. No ego, all impact. I remember that summer, she was doing things I hadn't seen anyone do as a freshman. The confidence, off the charts. We knew she'd be great. The season had its ups and downs, but she figured it out. It ended better than anyone could have imagined. So when the Valkyries picked her up, oh yeah, that was a no-brainer. A fresh team with vision, a bigger platform. That's exactly where Kate Martin belongs, because she's not just a glue player. She's a walking bonding agent. The Valkyries didn't just sign a baller, they got a culture shifter, a coach's dream, a transition menace who will absolutely roast you if you fall asleep on a cut. She's the kind of player who upgrades the entire room. Need a stop. She's already in a stance. Need a bucket. She's reading the defense, spacing the floor, slipping a cut, splashing an open look like it's payroll. Need leadership? Please. She's had that since Iowa was powered by corn and sheer will. The Valkyries? Lucky doesn't even cover it. They're blessed. She's going to walk into that locker room and instantly become everybody's favorite. Rookies will follow her like she's handing out cheat codes. Vets will love the professionalism. Fans? Oh, just wait. And the work ethic? Off the charts. I still talk to her every day. Watching her belief in herself grow, especially since my junior year when she wasn't even sure she'd take that 6th year, has been amazing because I always saw it in her. It was just about her seeing it in herself. She is that good, and she's always been that kind of leader. Doesn't matter if she's playing 30 minutes or cheering from the bench, she's giving 110%. And once you're Team Kate, you never stop rooting for her. There's just something magnetic about how she plays. This combo of joy, grit, and quiet swagger that sneaks up on you. 1 second she's grinning, the next she's snatching a rebound in traffic like, thanks, I'll take that. Then launching a break like she's got turn-by-turn GPS to the bucket. She reads the game like it's her favorite book, and she's rereading the best parts. And now that she's in a new city, you just know she's already got a local coffee shop where the barista knows her order and a spiral notebook full of scouting notes that reads like an FBI case file. She's about to turn practices into clinics and post games into highlight reels of wisdom. And let's be real, you don't build something meaningful in this league without a Kate Martin.